Travis Decker. Why is he currently one of the most wanted men in America, and why is an active, ongoing manhunt, including the National Guard, the FBI, border security, along with ICE agents, and local and state law enforcement? Why are they all searching for this man? Today, I hope to add some clarity and some background to who the individual is that they're looking for and what is going on in this investigation. For in order to understand who Travis Decker is and the actual crimes that he had committed, we need to take a look at where he came from, the life that he has always so embraced, and why he is wanted right now and is going to be damn near impossible to catch. It's going to take someone like Travis Decker to catch Travis Decker. Travis Decker, as a young man growing up, was fascinated with the wilderness, the outdoors world. He wasn't one for book studies or wanting to really play sports or hang out with girls. Even that much, growing up as a young teenage male, his interests were the wilderness. How did those who moved, east as the United States was settled, how did they survive off of the land? This was something even as young as 13 years of age, Travis Decker started to investigate, read up on, study, and put into practice. As a teenager growing up, Travis would take off with the approval of his mother and father on what he called weekend survivalist adventures, living off of the land. When he first would go out on these adventures as a young man, he would take the necessary things that you would need: a tent, sleeping bags, food, water, and something to defend himself against, creatures that may, happen upon him, mountain lions, bears, or whatever it might be. But as the years went on, according to two people who are familiar with him growing up, who wished to speak off of the record, said that as the years went by, he started to take less and less and less with him, eventually only taking what he could fit in his cargo pants pockets. No tent, no sleeping bag, no rope, nothing at all. Just a knife, a fire starter, and something to capture water in and cook out of. And that would be all he would take. And these adventures would go from just being a weekend adventure to during summer vacation when school was out. He would spend weeks at a time surviving and living off of the land. And he got very, very proficient at it. He knew how to survive in the wilderness of Washington State and northern Idaho in particular, off of the land, avoiding, anyone seeing him, anyone stumbling upon where he had been camping. He kept all of this, and it was a game to him. How can I be there? You didn't know I was there. These are games that he would play. Survive off of the land with what the land provides only. After high school, Travis Decker joined the United States Army and eventually would go on to take what they call high altitude training courses. And in these high altitude training courses, they're basically, and I've been through these personally myself, so trust me, when I tell you they're not easy, they're not something to mess around with, and they put you through a myriad of different situations on surviving at high altitude. But Travis went through the United States Army's version of high altitude, and this is to get you climated and used to trying to survive off of the land at high altitude for deployments to along the Pakistani border and Afghanistan and Iraq. That is what the actual training was for. According to those who spoke, particularly Patrick, who was in his unit with him, said that Travis was very proficient and helped a lot of those around him in learning how to survive and thrive in the situations that they had at high altitude. Again, showing that Travis had picked up a lot of experience and knowledge over the years, on his own before joining the United States Army. Travis Hunter would eventually transfer to the United States Army National Guard, where he was and was enlisted up till the point of the tragic events that we will get to. But he was on his way out of the Army National Guard because he had missed several training sessions. In case you're not familiar with the Army National Guard here in America, they call them weekend warriors. That's kind of a slur to them, but that's what they're called. It's weekend warriors. They have to, participate in ongoing training, and Travis had missed several of these training sessions over the time, particularly in the last couple of months. He didn't appear at any of them, so he was on his way out being discharged for this behavior and missing his training sessions. Those who were close to him, which is very few and far between. Travis has had lifetime friends with certain people and has never, it's not that he couldn't make friends or he couldn't be around friends, but he just had a few. There are people out there like that, though, and Travis was one of them, where they have maybe one, maybe two, maybe many as four close friends who are there through their entire life. Some of these friends that Travis has have been his friends since high school, and others he met while in the Army itself and in the Army National Guard. These are lifelong friends and relationships that he actually were close to. But those who were close to him at this particular time before he vanished and the tragic events that took place said that Travis was definitely dealing with something. It was either, mental health, it was in a relationship, on top of the fact that he was homeless and he could not get services through the VA. Yes, another example of the Veterans Administration failing us veterans. Again, they say that they're here for you and they will have your back after you're discharged or while you're in the service, but they fail over and over and over again. And yet, no one is really doing anything to fix the services that we have. According to the VA, there where he, in the area where he lived and where he would have sought services, they told Travis, if they were able to find psychological testing for him and help with PTSD, it could be months, if not almost a year out before they could put together something like that for him, because services are dearly lacking all over the United States and especially in rural areas. Now, we have now reached May 29th, 2025. On May 29th, 2025, Travis Decker picked up his 3 daughters. On that day, Travis Decker, as part of his court, issued allotment of time to visit and be with his daughters, picked them up on his normal schedule like he was supposed to be. But he was supposed to return them later on that day. Overnight visits are not allowed for Travis, and Travis knew that because A, he's homeless. B, he did not have a stable place for them to be. He could pick them up for day outings and then to return them to the mother. On this day, he picked up his 3 daughters, Paityn, age 5, Olivia, age 8, and Evelyn, age 9. He picked them up as normal, as always. The only thing that was alarming to the mother, she said on that day when he picked the 3 girls up, was he was quieter than usual. But this wasn't out of the ordinary. Over the course of their relationship, she said that Travis had gone through periods of time where he was quiet and gave her kind of the cold shoulder. And this was just another one of those days. No alarm bells, no red flags at all alarmed for the mother on this day. He picked them up, loaded them all up, and got them situated, seatbelted correctly in their booster seats and seatbelts in his pickup truck. a white pickup truck cab extension where they would all be able to sit next to each other in the back of the truck. By 7 p.m. on May 29th of 2025, the mother of the three girls and the ex-wife of Travis Decker had become very, very worried. She knew that the girls should have returned by then, and she tried calling Travis several times. But all of the calls that she tried went straight to voicemail. She called friends, family, particularly Travis's sisters, and got no help or very little help. They had nothing to aid in her and where are my daughters. The following morning, as the dawn broke, the mother went to law enforcement and reported that the three girls were missing, and so was Travis. Then started a door-to-door canvass, first with local law enforcement. They went from door to door, places they knew that Travis had hanged out, campgrounds, places he had stayed, outbuildings that he had used for storage, a mini storage complex to be exact. No avail. No signs that he had been there previously that day at all. He was gone, just like the wind, here today, gone tomorrow. Where did Travis and the three girls go? The manhunt slowly escalated from there over the May 30th, May 31st, going into the month of June of 2025. As they started, and it got to the point, they started to do road canvasses, stopping cars as they entered and exited the areas that they knew Travis camped at, until they found his pickup truck on a rural mountain road on June 2nd of 2025 in the early morning hours Pacific Coast time. While canvassing the area around the truck for signs, they found the three girls. Please, at this point, I am giving you a warning. Viewer discretion is strongly advised for the next part. Please advise this. If you are squeamish or not, can't or don't want to hear the details of this discovery, please turn this video off now. While searching the area for clues around the truck, they noted boot prints that led away from the truck straight down this dirt gravel road, and then seemed to stop, pace in a circle in the road, and then lead back to the truck, and then away from the truck down an embankment. Approximately 75 yards from the embankment where the truck was, they found all three girls deceased. Their hands had been zip tied together, and a plastic bag had been placed over their heads, a plastic grocery bag. According to one law enforcement agent who refused to, go on the record, he said that right now, without the actual autopsies being done, they believe that the cause of death for all three girls was suffocation. Following boot prints or anything else that they could find around the area of the truck, it did not appear that Travis came back out of the actual wilderness area off of that embankment. He walked off into the forest. Please understand at this point that he is a survivalist. He knows how to not break twigs or leave a trail of how he entered the forest, but he did enter the forest because there were no tracks back to the truck. Subsequently, since Travis disappeared and the three girls have been found deceased, the U.S. Marshal's Office filed for and was granted a series of different search warrants. The first search warrant was for Travis Hunter's cell phone, which was found on the front seat of the truck, turned off. And this is why all calls went straight to voicemail. when the mother was trying to reach out to get a hold of Travis Decker. Additionally, another warrant was served on a laptop that resided at the home of his ex-wife and the mother of the three girls. And this led to another tip. His sisters, on the day that Travis Decker disappeared and his three girls were found deceased along the embankment, his three sisters were found camping along the Pacific Crest Trail. While searching his cell phone and the computer that had resided at his ex-wife's home, the mother of the three girls, they found that Travis had done a series of Google searches. And those searches included how to move to Canada, how to acquire a job in Canada, how to get Canadian identification. These are things that he had Googled in the days prior to him picking up his girls. Is he headed towards Canada? We don't know. It all could be a ruse. Right now, law enforcement is focusing on the Pacific Crest Trail. And this is some very dense forested area that goes all the way from Mexico up to the northern border with Canada. Now, since the trade war and tariffs have been put in place, Canada said they will not allow visitors who are on the Pacific Crest Trail to hike into Canada, because the trail does go farther into Canada than the U.S. border. But there is no border crossing there. They're advising all hikers who wish to cross the border to go to an actual border crossing station, get a permit before they get on the trail to cross into Canada. But Travis obviously is not following the law. Is it all ruse that he is headed to Canada? Or is he headed to Idaho, Wyoming, Mexico? Where could he be in the world? No one knows at this point. Now, in conclusion, let me tell you how my family, it got sucked into this entire thing. On the day that Travis Hunter disappeared, was no longer seen, and had not returned his girls, May 30th of 2025, my family, my mother-in-law, my wife, my daughter, my son, my daughter's boyfriend, were all camping in a cabin off-grid in just outside of Leavenworth, Washington, which is a themed Bavarian village in the Cascade Mountain Range in Washington State. This is approximately 10 to 15 miles from where they believe the last possible sighting of Travis Decker was. So they closed all of Icicle Creek outside of Leavenworth and locked it down. And everyone who was camping there was told to pack up and leave, but not before searching the vehicles, then stopping them at a roadblock, and then this took some time. There was a lot of people. This is a very active, ongoing, area where people love to camp, hang out, party, sightsee. All of this is all involved. There's whitewater rafting there, kayak races. All kinds of people are attracted to this outdoor area, along with those who are there just to see this Bavarian village in the Cascade Mountain Range. My family was on lockdown. They were told to lock their doors, open the drapes, turn on all outdoor lights for the duration of the time they were there, and then for over 48 hours they were locked inside of the cabin that they were at. By their own admission, they locked the cabin, not that somebody locked them in from the outside. Until law enforcement was able to come and remove them and others from these outdoor, cabins in the area, and move them out of the area safely. Again, after searching all vehicles and making sure Travis wasn't hiding, in anyone's vehicle. My family did make it out of the area safely. But now the manhunt is still ongoing for Travis Decker. A father who killed 3 of his own children, all of his children to be exact. Where will he be? What will he do next? If he feels frightened and he is on the Pacific Crest Trail headed towards Canada and he comes upon a hiker, maybe he needs water or provisions, food, medical supplies, or something along that lines. Would he take another life? This is what law enforcement is the most worried about at this point. That and him vanishing for good. Now, you know more about the life of Travis Decker and what he has done and where he could be going. Law enforcement at this time, the FBI, is asking particularly, if you see Travis Decker, do not approach him at all. By any means, do not approach him. Simply call the tip-in. Now, keep in mind, in the Cascade Mountain Range along the Pacific Crest Trail, cell service is almost non-existent. You have to have a satellite cell phone if you wish to contact anyone outside of the area. This is some deep, deep forest. He may not be on the actual trail itself, but paralleling it, like he would have learned in the United States Army. Don't be on the actual trail, but parallel it. Keep it in eye contact, but follow it from a distance. He could be doing that right now today. He killed his 3 daughters. Why? We think of Christopher Watts as being a horrific killer, killing his 2 daughters, an unborn son, and his wife. This man could have just walked away at any time and moved on to Canada without killing his daughters. Hopefully, he's found alive and he will answer to what he did. His father and others believe he killed his daughters and then dispatched himself somewhere in the national forest. And it could take months, if not years, if ever, that anyone would find him and you could walk right past him all the time. Thank you for joining me today. You stay safe out there. Again, if you know anything about where Travis Decker might be, please call the FBI. You can remain anonymous by calling in a tip to the FBI.